too. It's but this is Little Shop of Stories. If you've never been before, it looks something like this. This picture was probably taken, I don't know. I'm trying to look at the displays and see when it might have been from, but I feel like maybe last fall-ish, something like that. It still kind of looks like this. Yeah, I don't, if I were in the store sitting here, I would have just set up a random chair in the middle of the cash register area, which wouldn't make any sense. You can see the penny floor a little bit behind me. We got pennies on our floor. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff happening. All right, y'all. Well, I know we'll probably still have some people trickle in, but I want to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Madison. I'm a bookseller at Little Shop of Stories here in Decatur, Georgia. As we've discussed, I am not actually there. We are still closed for browsing, but we're open for orders for shipping, delivery, and pickup. And we're also so thrilled to be doing these virtual events. As much as we miss having people in the store and getting to see people in person, there is something really cool to be said for being able to connect with people all over the country and even all over the world. And one of our authors tuning in today, I will say, is not in the United States of America. And that's pretty cool. So I'll be introducing our authors in just a second, but I did want to say, if you would like a copy of Deny All Charges, which is the Fowl Twins book that we're here for today, I'll put a link in the chat right now. If you order from us, it does come with a signed book plate. Ooh, ooh, very exciting. And also, if you already ordered one on Eventbrite, I'll be getting that to you very, very soon. So thank you for ordering that book bundle. There is a chat. Thanks for using it and telling me where you're calling in from. You can use it at any time. At Little Shop of Stories, we value respect and kindness above all things. And so I ask you to use respect and kindness when you're using the chat. And if you're not, I won't let you in the chat anymore. That's just the way that it is. And the last thing I want to say is, if you have a question for Eoin or Melissa, don't put it in the chat, because sometimes the chat moves really fast and things disappear. So if you have a question that you want answered at the end of the program, what you'll do is you'll look along the bottom of your screen. You should see a button that says Q&A. So click that button and put your question there, and that way I'll be able to see it when it comes time for the audience Q&A portion. So that's all my nitty-gritty detail housekeeping business. Hooray, hooray. Now, what you came for, please, wherever you are in the world, put your hands together for Eoin Colfer and Melissa de la Cruz. Yay! There they are. Woo!
Hello.
We are.
I can't believe that's
disappearing now. Goodbye.
Bye,
Melissa, that's a beautiful room you're in. Is that a hotel, or is that your?
This is my office.
That's your office?
Yeah.
No.
That's right.
That is so cool. Is the rest of it all that tidy, or is it like a mess? And then
not answering that.
And is Mike in that office too? No. Do you share that office with Mike, or do you have your own space?
Oh no, he has his own. We do not share an office.
No, I know. That's probably for the best, I think. We're the
Is
same.
that your office?
This is my office. Yes, this is it's lovely, the red room. So I just got this last year. So I'm really happy. And I always keep a spoon, because you never know when yogurt will be needed or something. So I always have a spoon nearby for lunch. If I'm not allowed out for lunch, it's not like where you are in California, where everything is fantastic and it's all dining on the street. We're in full lockdown here, sadly. Yeah, so no restaurants. It's
no restaurants.
Well, they can do. Some of them are doing deliveries and takeaways, but there's no restaurants. So,
yeah, no, I would not survive there.
I know. Yeah. I should be getting parachuting in care packages or something. Anyway, Liz, thanks for doing this. You're so good, because I know your schedule is insane. So you're very good.
The napping and the shopping. You know.
Well, and the writing like 5 books a year and all the bestsellers. You're doing amazingly well. So thanks for taking the time out. And we're saying that we know each other now, I think, for a long time. I don't know if you got that first edition behind your head there at the time.
Yeah,
the
we
time.
recently did our library. So this was an alphabetical order. I just went in there and got the C, Colfer. And there it is, 2001, my friend.
I
And then
know.
I opened it and you had not even signed it. I don't
Well,
have one sign.
you probably didn't ask me. I would sign it. I mean, I will sign it next time I'm over. But I haven't. I'm not able to go to your lovely country. And the last time I was in your lovely country, your friends wouldn't tell me where you were because they thought I was a weird old man. That was at Yallfest, as you remember.
I think, was it Yalfest? I thought it was like Texas book.
Oh, no, it was. It was Texas. It was
Yeah,
Texas.
it was Texas. So Owen used to stalk me. He asked these writers, "Do you know where she's staying?" Melissa Delpers.
I think it's getting a bit exaggerated. Like, I didn't say, what's her room number, anything like that. I was just saying, is Mel in this hotel? And they're like, hello, who are you? Please. I say, no, I'm a friend of, oh, of course you are. Of course you are. Stranger danger. It was really very quick. I felt alone very quickly. I remember just pulling my jacket around me and backing away. And you have never stopped laughing about that. So
I have not, because it's so funny that I think it was Gail Foreman, Danielle Page, and I think Meg Cabot.
Yeah. And Meg knows me. Like, I've done events with Meg. I mean, I've been on a stage with Meg, and maybe it's the goatee. I don't know. I obviously made no impression.
And then you bumped into them again, when we're on the circuit, we see each other at all the book festivals.
I gave him the full frost. I was like,
yes, I would be the speaker. I'm the keynote. Mm-hmm.
They didn't care. They were like, yeah, whatever, granddad. I remember that Yallfest was the first time I felt, oh my God, I am like the granddad of kids writers, because these kids, like, they're all wearing tutus. They knew all the audience, because they're on Instagram, and they were revealing stuff about themselves. It's like a whole new game now. It's brilliant. Like, the kids who read these books absolutely adore the writers, and you're supposed to feel something about yourself. And I said, well, I broke my arm once. I'm not telling you kids anything. But that's the Irish way. You never tell anything, because you never know who's listening. But that was.
Have been writing these books for 20 years now, right?
I hear you. I went through a phase of kind of being, I don't know if you ever had this, but I just had enough, and I had no more leprechauns. But then, after about 3 years, I started to have this unusual feeling. And I realized, oh my goodness, I don't hate my own books. I'm starting to come back around to them being nice. And then I got this renewed enthusiasm. And
That's
so
awesome.
I went, and went back into the Fowl family again. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And also it's bringing me back into the orbit of yourself and other people who I met in that world. So that's a real bonus.
Yeah.
So I should be there now. I mean, it's a pity we'd be having a glass of rosé out on the patio somewhere, but next year, next
year, definitely. So Artemis in this book is still on Mars.
He's on the way. He's on the way to Mars.
Okay.
I knew the temptation to bring him in for a cameo just would be so strong, and I knew that all the readers would be asking me, when is Artemis coming back? That I said, I'll just send him to Mars. So it's like I sent my son to boarding school. Like, I was like, just
bye.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Sean, if you're listening, it's okay.
Sean, it's fine. You're staying home. It's fine. But Finn is in London now. He's locked down in London.
Oh.
But if you got to be locked down, London's not bad. So he's
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy time. At least politics is good though, so that's fine. We have Brexit over here, so we're all in trouble. So
Well, our election is in 14 days, so
Yeah.
but we're not going to talk about that.
No, let's not talk about that. But we'll talk about it in 15 days.
Yes. Tell us about the movie. What was your favorite part of filming the movie, other than cashing the checks?
The check was I got that check 20 years ago. So when you alter it up for, I don't know, inflation, it was like $15. So that's what, it was so long ago. I think it was coins. They gave me coins. My favorite part was, I think, going to the set the first time, because, well, you know about that, and you've been on sets, but I've been on a TV set one time, but it was a really small budget thing where nothing was real. But when you go to a Disney set, that's like a village. And there's a part of the Fowl books called Fowl Manor, which is where, like Wayne Manor, so it's fairly explanatory. And I didn't realize they had built the manor, like the actual manor. And I think Steele is listening there, and he was with me, and I was just blown away. They built this massive castle, and we came around the corner, and I had never seen my two sons awestruck, and they were. This is based on some stupid book you wrote 20 years ago. And they just couldn't believe that other people were taking me seriously. And you could see in their face, oh my God, we're going to have to take you seriously while we're on this set. And they said, how long are we going to be here? I was like, it could be like 4 hours. That was really hard for them to be nice to me for 4 hours. But they did it. And, obviously, I'm kidding. They're great kids. But that blew me away. And just to see that it was a real thing. So that was nice.
Yeah. And everybody working, and like you said, taking it seriously, something you just kind of created, and in your mind, and then suddenly it's real. Yeah, it's surreal, right?
It's surreal. You find it hard, like you've experienced it as well, and it's hard to watch it as just like a movie.
Yeah.
You're still amazed that it exists, and you don't have that feeling going into a Star Wars movie or whatever, or that this shouldn't really be happening in the world. I was watching the whole movie like this, and that's not really the expression you're supposed to have. And when the first time I saw it, I was the finished product. Kevin Branagh was behind me.
Oh, nice. And
there was only about 5 people in the theater.
Oh my God!
The Artemis Fowl young man Ferdier was beside me, so I felt like, put your game impressed face on. But I was just looking around to make sure I wasn't having a stroke, and none of this was happening. But it was very enjoyable, though. Enjoy was the wrong word. I enjoyed it after.
Yes.
When I was at home with Jackie, and we were having a chat about it, then we enjoyed it. But at the time, it was the strangest feeling.
Right?
Yeah. You would agree with that, I think. Yeah.
No, definitely. It's not really real until it's over. And then it's like, oh, that was a really nice thing.
Yeah. That was a great time. Remember that time I just needed to go to the bathroom? That was great. I loved that. So I'm glad it's over, but I'm glad it happened.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Oh my God. Are you busy right now? What are you working on?
I am working on the third Twins book, which I've just started. And I probably retire the Fowl family then.
Never say never.
No, I'm not saying never, but I think I will probably move on to something a little more mature, maybe like unicorns or time travel, something.
Okay, good.
I want to show people I'm not just a one leprechaun pony. I got several tentacles. Octopus. That's it. That's what I'll do.
Oh, nice.
What about you? What are you working on?
What am I not working on?
Just tell me the top 4.
I know, right? So I have a book that's coming out. Oh, good. I can plug my book. Coming out in December, called Never After, which is, again, fairy tales. And I just find, it's like you. I'm a fairy tale pony.
But that is the best title. That is a brilliant title. That's
Thank
like that's begging to be a series, though. I think. I mean, even just from the title, I would expect 3 books at least there. So
Yeah.
can do it. You can. What else? What's number 2 on the list?
And number 2, what is the second book that's coming out? So I have a sequel to The Queen's Assassin, which is my YA romance adventure with an assassin.
Yes, nice. I don't know. You are the most prolific person I know. You really are. You just keep it. And I'll rephrase that, because a lot of people are prolific and then they're not very good. But you're prolific and it's all top class stuff, and that's
very nice. We're old friends.
If I had a hat, it would be off to you, madam. I will definitely sign that book next time.
Yes, because I want to sell it at auction.
Dear highest bidder.
I actually wrote questions. So here are my questions for you. How are the boys? We covered them.
They're good. Yeah, they're good. But I feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. When I was 17, I met Jackie. Okay, and a lot of my mates met their wives or girlfriends or husbands or partners when they were 17, and Sean is 17. He's not having that summer. Like, he's 17 or 18 is the summer of love, and romance and excitement and adventure. And they're just not having that. And that must be so tough.
Oh, that's so
to go through that, So keep the faith there, teenagers. There's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. You'll be let out of your house one day.
Yeah. It'll be like they're on Bone Earth that will just go flying out.
Bye.
Nightclub. Could be a tough time for parents. Could be worrying time. Anyway, I forgot what the question was now. I heard about. And how is your little girl? She's not a little girl anymore.
She's going to be 14 in 3 weeks. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little crazy. And a lot of that teen attitude.
Yeah. Well, she gets that from. I don't want to say she gets that from Mike, but he can be he's got a bit of a toot.
Right? I mean, it's all from Mike.
Just read that book. I read that last book. I got, this guy is very sarcastic.
I have to work with that, Owen.
Sorry? You get that in real life.
I get that in real life.
And I can imagine if he can couple that with an equally sarcastic expression, like, How is Mike? He's good, I suppose.
He's good. He's in his office. We don't see each other during the day. But you and Jackie have lunch, right?
Well, we used to. We kind of migrated to. We have dinner most days out, but not anymore. So we just had dinner actually. We had lovely Italian, so that was nice. And Jackie's in watching a bit of RuPaul. Even though I asked her to wait.
Our quarantine routines.
Do you think, Mel, this is a serious question.
Okay.
Do you think we get me and you on as guest judges?
We are certainly going to try.
That would be it. I would fly over, I would break the quarantine, I would parachute into Los Angeles to do that. So I know everything. You do not wear the same boots in the runway as the challenge. You never do that.
Never.
Debbie Harry's judging. So
well, now we have a new goal, Owen, where we're going to have to work on this, find out who owns that show, who do we know? I'm sure we know somebody.
You definitely know. I have got contacts in MGM. And Disney Plus is no good. I don't think they own RuPaul.
No.
You don't know though, Disney. Well, let's get on that. Me and you, two best-selling authors, surely we're a shoo-in. I'll have to get a makeover though.
I used to live across the street from Bardo in the West Village, which had Joey Arias, and it was always drag queen night. So that was always our happy hour. Happy hour to drag queens. So,
We have one. I think there's one famous drag queen, Panty Bliss.
oh,
So she is quite famous, but we don't really have as big an industry. And one of my best friends used to play piano in Madame Jojo's in London. That was the famous
that's cool.
drag bar, and apparently the shows are unbelievable. I mean, he said the production. This guy's worked with Pavarotti now, and he says the production on these shows was as good as anything you'd see on the West End or Broadway in this little
Amazing.
theater. So we should go there next time we're in London.
Yes, we will.
I know we're supposed to be talking about books here. I know that, but
Like, oh yes. Oh, here's a question. How big did your ego get during the movie?
Irish people are very anxious. I'm quite anxious. And so when the movie was coming out, I went off Instagram and I went off everything, because I just said, I just want to enjoy having a movie.
Oh, wow.
And I don't want to know, because like the price can be good, it can be bad, but I didn't want to know. So I put myself in this little bubble for a couple of weeks and just kind of didn't really do any work, and I just enjoyed having a Disney movie. And because there's only 200 Disney movies, so it's really nice to be a part of that. And the name, the Artemis Fowl kind of brand, if you like, it kind of went back up again after 20 years. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
And it's really nice for the Fowl Twins now, of course. That was accidental timing, as you can imagine. But no, I'm really enjoying it. And most people, I mean, I think that some of the fans of the books didn't like how it moved away from the books a bit, but I did, because I want something different. I mean, I know the book story. I wanted something different. So I think I'm too old to get a big head now. And
No.
I think I did have a big head until your friends thought I was a stalker, and then that got punctured down.
They brought you down.
They did. I should visit them again anytime I'm getting a little bit. The hubris is setting in. I call Meg Cabot and say, Meg, remember? Give me some of that. Give me some of that Princess Diary. So anyway, yeah, but it was nice. It was nice. It still is nice. I'm still enjoying it.
And it's Halloween soon, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of Artemis costumes, which is always really fun.
Well, Halloween is kind of not banned, but there's no trick-or-treating over here now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so people are trying to figure out. There's going to be a lot of Zoom things going on where I think our street is trying to put together some kind of parade, but just up and down, not calling in. And so it's pretty sad for little kids.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So
yeah, but safe for them, I guess. We had a lot of drive-by. Did you guys do the birthday drive-bys?
We had birthday drive-bys. We had a lot of people coming out to their windows and clapping for people.
Yeah.
We were all clapping. Yeah, so that was, it is nice. People will adapt. It's just like the bookstores are all adapting. Your local independent bookstore is finding a way to get the books to you. So I hope people are really supporting their bookstores. And that's why events like this are really important.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think we have some questions, Madison. Do we have some questions from the audience?
Oh,
I'm here. I was unmuted. I was speaking, and
Madison was having a break.
No idea. Yeah, I have. If anybody has more questions, you can put them in here. I have some questions that I wanted to ask because I'm full of questions always. But this is for both of y'all, and this is a question we get a lot at our school visits and things like that. So I always like to ask it. If you had to give a piece of advice to a young person or an older person who's interested in telling stories, whether it's through books or through films or whatever it might be, what piece of advice do you most often like to give? What are your favorite words of wisdom?
Owen?
My piece of advice would be two pieces. One is keep your eyes open, because we're always told to read as much as you can and do a little bit of writing every day. But you need to watch what's happening, because that's how you recharge your batteries, or I'm speaking for myself. So you need to keep an eye out, buy yourself some mirrored sunglasses and stare at people. Otherwise, it's a bit creepy. So just watch. And secondly, and this is more practical, when you're writing chapter 1 of your book, do not describe yourself in a mirror. That is like the worst. People are, yeah, Madison walked past the mirror. She noticed herself, oh, my hair's looking especially glossy. Not bad for a girl of my age. No, do not describe yourself at length in the mirror. Nobody does that. And if they do, they shouldn't tell anyone about it. That's practical. That's practical. I hope no one's done that now. I think I might have a few times.
I actually think one of my first YA books, I did have the character do that. So whatever, Owen.
Yeah, no, I did it as well. I think Butler might have said, "Yeah, no, you still got it, Butler." He's thought as he looked at himself in the mirror for 20 minutes. It's pretty bad. So yeah, no mirror and keep your eyes open.
Got it. What about you, Melissa?
I think it's always, keep on trying. Don't take rejection. I certainly didn't. I was rejected from all the MFA programs. And then, I think I sold my 3rd novel with my 6th agent. So I tried. I was like, you're going to say no, and I'm going to say no to that no. And then my other practical advice, since we're going to do practical advice, is really early in my career, a really famous editor told me, if you're writing a love story, the 2 people need to meet each other by page 30. Like they should at least have met, or you've introduced the romantic heroine. So by page 30.
That is good. I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
But I really appreciate clinical advice like that. That's because it's very easy to do it then. Oh, by page 30. Because very often the advice you get is, can it be more kind of, effusive in the later stages? You're like, what are you talking about? So that's why I like RuPaul as well. It's like, that wig is too big. So that's like very simple advice to follow. And that's the kind of advice that I like. Cinch that waist. I won't say any other advice because it's not suitable. But,
I think that the most surprising thing about this event, and something that no one will believe when I tell them, is how much screen time was dedicated to RuPaul's Drag Race. There's just been a lot more talk of RuPaul's Drag Race than I think anyone could have ever anticipated. So that's exciting for me.
We're auditioning as judges, so we're hoping that
we're sending us this tape.
Just keep mentioning it. I've got a question from Shelly here. How does Eoin come up with the characters and story arcs in the Fowl series? Do you plan out, with a big series like that? What was your planning process like?
Well, I was staying in Mel's house and I went through her trash, and she had thrown out 4 books, but they were perfectly good enough for me. Mel rejected them, but I loved them. So that's what. No, I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. I think I get a lot of little ideas, so I don't have one big idea. Usually I would have 30, 40 little ideas, and I just put them in a folder, and I just think about them for a few months, and my subconscious puts the jigsaw together. And once I have a very basic structure, I go, and everything else happens on the journey, really. So I don't know if you agree with this, Mel, but I get most of my ideas while I'm working, not while I'm lying on a sofa or,
watching Drag Race. No.
Watching Drag Race. Although it may have affected this book, I'm going to have to check it again. But I don't think so. No. But yeah, work. It comes while I'm working, and no big, massive explosion of an idea. It's just little ideas. What do you think, Mel?
I agree. When I'm not working, I don't want to think about work. I'm off the clock, So I think that's one of the things I've learned, is to be present in what I'm doing. So if I'm working, and it's almost like I'm forced to have ideas, or I'm forced to deal with the plot holes in my book. You have that blank, empty screen, and you just start writing anything.
Do you check your mail or do anything, or are you just in work?
There's always an hour of like putzing around the internet, you
Yeah.
know, looking at the email, reading the article, seeing what's on Twitter,
Yeah.
any procrastination, you know. If I'm on deadline, I try to keep that to a minimum. Like I try to be hyped up and just go in, because you can really spend 8 hours just in front of your computer doing nothing.
Oh,
You know?
easily. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so you do try to limit that, you know, kind of browsing and procrastinating and looking at the same sites, online shopping, looking at vacations that we'll take when we can all leave our houses.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I mean, I'm used to, and you're the same, doing a tour. And every time I finish a tour, I say, I'm done touring.
Yeah.
And then about 2 months later, I go, maybe this nice festival, maybe in Mexico. Maybe I'll just go to that one. And so I really missed that this year. I realized how privileged and fortunate I've been for the last 20 years to be invited to all these lovely places. So I'm hoping I'm hoping people don't realize, wait a minute, we can just do this virtual forever now. We don't need to have these people coming to our country. We can just, put them on a screen. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, because we have to sneak out of all those dinners together. I remember some dinner in Texas.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah, that's when your friends will let me talk to you. I got past the Guardians, and we've had and a couple of nice BEAs as well. I think we've had a few nice dinners there. So I really, I'd love to start that up again. And Margie, I haven't seen Margie in years, I think. So get the gang back together.
Get the gang back together, definitely.
I've got another question here. Someone is curious why Holly isn't in space as well. If Artemis isn't, why isn't Holly in space? That's their question.
Well, Holly was kind of Artemis's shadow, but once he went out of the jurisdiction of the fairies, she just let him go. And also, she's been promoted now. She's Commodore, so she's in charge of a fleet of ships. So she's got to stay. And I'm just making this up. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along. I don't know. I should have thought of something. I will now go and put that in the third book. So thank you, whoever asked that question. That's what Mel means by forcing people to have ideas. I'm now forced to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah. I'll just write that down. Let me just, Mel, what would you do with Holly that you could help me out?
Holly is judging the drag race. That's what she's doing.
We are a shoe-in for that competition. That would be one now that Jackie usually says to me, yeah, you go. It's fine. I'm just going to stay here in the hotel. I might go to the spa. But if we were going to Drag Race, Jackie would be in that cab, in that limousine, just ready. So
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, I think we got time for one more question, and this one says, what does Eoin like to read? And I think, Melissa, you could answer this too, but any books that you've read recently or any genre you come back to again and again, authors? Anything?
Mel, what are you reading at the moment? While I pick out something here.
I know, I was just going to look at, these are all the books that I'm about to read. So one of them is Marie Lou's Sky Hunter, which I think now, so I'm really excited to read that. I just read Rumen Alam's Leave the World Behind, which was about, these two couples. It's about the end of the world, which is really scary. And it was actually really kind of frightening because you could kind of see it happening, the way we live now. It's kind of hard to read it in a pandemic.
That's the thing about all these books, I think the Hunger Games used to be, very entertaining, and now it's terrifying.
Yeah, right.
Because it could easily happen. And, you had all these movies about politicians, and they were all funny and unbelievable. But now, if you look what's happening over in Europe and all over the place, really, it's all too believable. But anyway, I'm reading at the moment Roddy Doyle's latest book, which is called Love. What I like about it, it's about I love his dialogue, which is fantastic. But it's about finding love when you're middle aged. I think that's something that's not often represented in books. It's people think that once you're over 40 or 45, whatever, you don't really bother about love anymore, and that's not true. A lot of people are married and in love, and a lot of people are on their own and would love to be in love. So I think this deals with those questions. So if you're a romantic and also sarcastic, I'm pointing at you, Melissa, this could be the book for you, and it's also very funny.
That sounds awesome. But there's no drag queens in it, so
there are not. They're good unless they're really good drag queens, and I don't know, but I don't think there are. Unfortunately. That's what it's missing. We could collaborate on the drag queen book.
I think we have
now. I wonder how that will go. I'm going to start working on my drag name immediately.
That's right.
The cameras go off. Run it into Jackie. Must be Leprequenia or something.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel I might have lost a lot of readers tonight.
No, I think that you're about to gain a whole new audience of people once the world knows how passionate you both are about RuPaul's Drag Race. I think everybody will get behind this big dream you have to be the celebrity judges. I know Little Shop of Stories will lead the charge and pull whatever strings we can in that world. Any strings we can.
There will be sequined strings.
Yes, very glittery, very fabulous strings that we will pull on your behalf. Absolutely. This was such a delight. It's always so special to have authors who are friends and have known each other for a long time here to chat. And we're so excited about all the books that y'all release. Like Eoin said, Melissa, you're releasing 37 books a year and they're all fantastic. It's amazing. We can't wait for, like you said, Never After is high on our list of anticipated titles for the winter. So we can't wait for that. And Eoin, as always, it's so good to see you. I think the last time we had you in Decatur was for the Decatur Book Festival, and we hope that sometime soon you can fly over the ocean again and join us.
Fingers crossed. Can't wait.
In this real place behind me, the real life Little Shop of Stories. I'm going to put the link to get Fowl Twins Deny All Charges in the chat in case you haven't gotten one yet, because it does come with a signed book plate. Wow, wow, wow. Go in while you're there and pre-order Never After because it's coming out soon and you definitely want it. And yeah, like I said, we're Little Shop of Stories. We're so grateful that you guys were here today. Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Eoin, for being here.
Thank you, Madison, for hosting.
Yes. Stay safe and be well, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.